Hello everyone, Charles Walhingford back again with another watch video, and this is the state of my collection video. It's been a long time since I've done a state of my collection because I haven't been doing watch videos. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll walk you through what is new, what has changed, and everything on here has a story. Every watch has a story. I won't be able to go through the whole story because this video could probably be 3 hours long, and we're not going to have that. I know how YouTube works, and I know how you guys work. You are not going to watch a video that long. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First off, we're going to put the gloves on, and the first set of watches will be my watches that are in my watch box. I have a watch box. I also have two compartment watch winders that don't work anymore. Well, they do, but they never work good, so I don't even wind them. I wind them when I put it on. So that's a whole nother video in its own. But we're gonna go ahead with this watch box, and this watch box. This watch box. There's quite a few watches in it, of course. First, we're going to start with the bottom row, the bottom drawer. And the first watch we're going to go over is the watch that started it all, the original skeletonized electronic Bulova Accutron. Now, a lot of these are not running. A lot of these need new batteries or maybe need to be serviced. So yeah, that's that might be a slight issue, but it doesn't take away from the fact of what they are and what they mean to me. So this first watch, that Bulova Accutron electronic watch, it's not a quartz, it's electronic. It has a really cool movement. It's skeletonized, and it actually hums. It actually hums instead of ticks. So that is something completely original, and that is why there's a cult following behind this watch. For me, this is the first watch I ever paid attention to because this is what my father had. This is actually my father's watch, or was my father's watch. My father passed on in 2020. Yeah, he passed on in 2020. This is a LaSalle. For those of you not familiar, LaSalle is Seiko. This was all the rage in the 80s. In the 80s, this is what you had. No one wore the terrible, expensive mechanical watches. This is during the time of the quartz crisis, where everybody had a quartz watch. Even Rolex made a quartz watch. But this LaSalle, this was the watch to have. And this was given to me by my stepfather, who has now passed. He passed in 2019. So I had some hits year after year, because in 2021, my best friend's father died, and he was another man in my life that was, very influential to me. My first, probably the first watch that I spent over $300, $400 for, maybe $300 for. This is a Movado, the museum. I thought this was one of the coolest watches around because it had that Movado dot or circle or disc all through the bracelet there. And I thought that was really cool. And I said, ooh, I am now on the team. I am now on the team. Here, I have two Skagen watches. Anybody ever heard of Skagen? That's where you go to. These are mall watches, high-end mall watches. And they're Disney. If you don't know anything about me and you haven't figured it out yet or haven't seen it yet, I am a big Disney fan, and I'm definitely not going to get too deep into Disney right now, but Disney has let me down. That's why I don't have any new Disney watches. Yeah, Disney has let me down big time. All right, that's all I'm going to go over as far as this bottom drawer. We're going to go to the top of this watch box. So let's move on to my other watches that I work with. All right, so I work with this watch a lot. I have this watch on a lot, and it is taking a beating. This is the Citizen Skyhawk, the Blue Angels edition. I thought it was really cool when I got it. This was, again, the next most expensive watch I purchased after the Movado. So the Movado, I don't think the Movado was 300. I think the Movado was maybe 200, because this was 300. And I know this is the most money I spent on a watch. I bought it on not on a cruise, but off on a cruise port. And I was really proud of it. It looked so beautiful when I got it, and I'm still proud of it. It represents how I have constantly moved in the right direction. And then right next to it, another Skyhawk, an all-black Skyhawk. This is another Citizen Echo Drive. I think, what is this called? This is my first black on black watch. I didn't buy this directly after that first Blue Angels Skyhawk. However, I wear this a lot at work too. This is one of my favorite watches to wear to work. This deep blue is kind of reminiscent of the Oris case style. It's a little bit different enough that it's not, because I don't like watches that try to be another watch. It's just, to me, it was a beautiful diver watch, and that's why I bought it. And it wasn't expensive. The whole purpose of having this watch was to have a really nice work watch. And so this work watch is one of my favorite work watches. This deep blue 1,000 meter, 1,000 meter diver. Getting close to the end here, and this is my Victorinox diver, 500 meter diver. Now, I wear this watch more than any other watch. Yeah, I like this one a whole lot. You can see how much abuse it has taken, in a sense, because this is titanium. So it's much lighter than other watches, but for how much mass actually is involved in this watch, it's pretty light. All right, let's go into something that is another huge accomplishment. This watch is my very first watch. This is the very first watch that I earned from doing YouTube videos. My main goal, number one goal for doing YouTube videos was to get a free watch. And this is the Aviate Flyboy. This is the 4048. The 4048 in a leather NATO strap. This is the only watch that has a NATO strap. I actually don't like NATO straps. I know a lot of you love that NATO strap. I don't, but I like that it's a leather NATO strap, and I like that what this watch it represents in being on a NATO strap. It's being completely different, and it stands out. It helps me remember why I do all this, and also helps me remember that, hey, you're accomplishing your goals. Keep moving.